What's up, Yezzy?
Nothing much, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. Just another day for me. What'd you do today?
You know what? Today, I woke up really early, which is opposite of what I usually do. I woke up today at like 4:30, 5:30. My eyes have just been boop, 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 with nothing to do and no reason why. So, but no, just I relaxed, I chilled.
Yeah.
I have to go to town this week, so I started prepping for that.
Yeah. Where are you going?
That's about it. I'm going to DR.
You going to DR?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How
yes.
exciting is that?
I mean, it's not exciting as much as, someone who's going on, vacation. I'm going to visit family and, stuff like that. So, but still, let me say that again. It's exciting always.
Oh, yeah. How long was that plane ride?
About 3.5 hours.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. That's really like a good nap.
It is. And usually that's exactly what I do. Make sure I have something covering my head so I'm not with my mouth open.
So right now at this time of year, it's like really hot there, right?
It's starting to cool down. It is starting to cool down. Maybe like September, October, it starts to get mildly cool, and cool there is like 75 at night. So, but it's a markable difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And what about you? What'd you get into today?
I actually went on a 3-mile walk run, and that felt good. Got
3
a good
miles,
sweat on.
indoor or out?
Outdoor. I have a little route that I run. When I leave my house, I go all into different neighborhoods, and I wind up on Powder Springs Road, and then I come all the way back around. It's about a total of 3 miles.
Ooh, God
total
bless
3 miles.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, so today's topic is going to be about expectations versus reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a good one.
Yes, agreed.
So you got a question of the day?
You want me to start with the question of the day?
You want to get a question of the day?
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Get ready. It's Yezzy bringing you the question of the day.
So it kind of piggybacks. This is my question of the day. It kind of piggybacks on our topic of today, expectations versus reality. My question today is, everyone's heard this adage, or how do you say it? Some people say adage, some people say adage. I say adage.
Adage is
okay.
fine.
So when you know better, you do better.
Right.
But do you? Okay. So when you know better, do you do better? And so kind of to piggyback on that question, should you become loyal to your mistakes?
Wow.
And what I mean by that, for everybody out there who's watching, is when you tend to know better, it doesn't always mean that you do better. For example, we know that we shouldn't eat certain foods, but we do.
We do.
We know we shouldn't drink in excess,
and we still
but we do. We know all kinds of things, but yet we choose to not err on the side of doing better. So what prevents us, in your mind or in your opinion, what prevents someone from doing better? So some of my ideas were, I thought about being stuck. Most of the time when people don't do better, it's because they're stuck for one reason or another, as well as like not wanting to correct your words or your actions or your mindsets, or even relationships, and not having the proper support to do so. Because if you want to make a change, a lot of times we don't, because we're scared
of change.
Change is so much harder than people realize. It really is. Like, you can have the desire to do it and still not want to do it. Right. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, people love to straddle the fence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They know what's right.
Yes.
They know what the path that they should be walking.
Yep.
But it's to some people, it's fun to be on the other side, just because you can. You know what I'm saying? Just like you pointed out, alcohol or drugs or just not going to work. You know what's right. And sometimes it's just that little devil that's on your shoulder telling you to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm. It's so much easier to do what's comfortable as opposed to quote unquote what's right.
Right, what you should be doing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And sometimes people have an unwillingness to change because it's either comfortable or you've learned to create comfort in that situation.
Right.
So
Good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Well, people live life different. You know what I'm saying? Some people live life with structure, purpose, direction, and some people they take life easy.
Willy-nilly.
Yeah, they take it easy and they go as they go. You know what I'm saying? They're not in a rush to no motivation, no self motivation, no dedication. Just they're gonna take it as it go.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So expectations is pretty much how we want things to go. Mm-hmm. That's what expectations is. Mm-hmm. It's how you want it to be. Yes. And sometimes how you want it to be is not how it's going to be.
Most times.
You know what I'm saying? Reality, you should always be stuck in reality. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, reality is always going to be there.
It is. It is. But a lot of times, and that's what disappointment is all about. The expectation of what we go into any situation with and the reality of what we get back out.
Yeah. Because
I don't always think that your input equals output. You could put in so much more than you actually receive back.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand that. So I want to put up one, two slides, and we can look at these slides and talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
So, and like we're talking about expectations and reality. So when we put up these slides, we'll talk about them. Like they're different scenarios. Like let's put up this first one, and we'll talk about it. Here we go. So this is pretty much, I would say, a relationship, mm-hmm. and the expectations is, look, they're sharing a strawberry or fruit,
right?
Which is great, happy, mm-hmm. and then reality is that they're at each other's throat, and that happens.
Which happens a lot.
That happens. I mean, mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, people go into a relationship thinking that it's gonna be great, but in reality, it's hard work. You have to accept that it's not going to be easy. In reality, the reality of everything is that it's not going to be what it seems.
No, and with this expectation versus reality. So today, I had, because as we all know, I'm poly, and so I was in a relationship,
right?
One completely separate and one together,
uh-huh.
And we had parted ways a few months back, and I hadn't heard from this person since. Mm-hmm. The way that everything fell apart and broke up, it was like really ambiguous. There was never, I mean, at the end of the day, I know why. But you know how you need closure? Have you ever needed closure in a relationship? Yeah. And the person either stole it from you or refused to give it to you?
Right.
And that's kind of the way it was.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I need things to be finite and have closure. But it's funny because I don't provide those things in other aspects of my life. Not necessarily relationally, but I got a random text today.
Yeah.
And it threw me for a loop because I haven't spoken to this person in almost 3 months.
Wow.
And it made me really emotional. Like, I didn't expect to have that emotion because mm-hmm. the expectation in the beginning was that it would be this great relationship. We would stay together. We had a great dynamic. And then things just, it wasn't, they gradually flew apart. It was like, boom, over, cut, not speak to you ever again.
Wow. Okay.
No explanation. So my reality was shook because the expectation that I had was that this person would never do me like that.
Right.
It was so disappointing. But then when I got the text today, it brought back so many emotions and memories, and it kind of tugged a little bit at my heart, so that expectation versus reality.
Yeah. I mean, it is. If you can stay in what reality is and understand what reality is, then I think you'll always be on top. Mm-hmm. You'll always be on top. You'll be aware of, it could be very good, high, or it could be low. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants their birthday to be as good as it was last year. So you go into your next birthday with expectations it's going to be off the chain.
Thinking, or you can go into it thinking based on the fact of the birthdays that preceded that,
Yeah.
oh hell, shit, this is
Yeah.
gonna be one of those birthdays. I'm not gonna get what I want.
Right.
I'm not. So you don't even bother to ask because you set that person up in your life or people in your life. You know what to expect from them.
do.
So the reality of it is, man, I'm not gonna get what I want. So
Yeah.
let me just, fall back
Yeah,
and it just
yeah.
be.
So the next one I want to put up is about females. No, is it about females? Hold on, let me see. No, I don't have that slide. I'm sorry. What it is, so when females see, they're out in the public and you see a female with a nice hairstyle, and you ask her, "Who did your hair?" Do you guys automatically think that it'll look just like that on my head? Because the expectations is how good it looks on her. If I go to the same person who did it, it's gonna look the same way on me. Does it usually look that way, or is it usually reality strikes and you be like, "Whoa, I don't pay this money and it don't look like what I seen"?
So Instagram is a farce. Instagram creates all these Insta hairdressers and these great people and these, and then the reality of, which has happened to me numerous times, where
Yeah.
I see something that they had on their page,
Right.
and then I go to them and the expectation is to get like you said,
Yeah.
exactly what I saw,
Yeah.
and I walk away pissed because it's nothing like what I saw,
Right.
and the experience is terrible.
Yeah.
So
Even
yeah, no.
if you took time to exaggerate exactly how you wanted the hairstyle, maybe you had a picture of that person.
Always.
Or is it our fault to not stay in a reality and think that this new hairstyle is gonna be something else?
No, I think consistency. If you're looking at someone's page and you see what seems like consistency,
Yeah.
you expect
Okay.
that same thing.
So you gotta do a little bit more research.
Right. Well, it's not even, a lot of times it's like a hit or miss. You have to just go out there and just try it, which is a very expensive hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. Wow. Well, so let's move on with these slides. So this is one that everybody probably goes through, and it is your first car. Your first car. What did you think your first car was going to be? Did you think it was going to be a Mercedes or a Maybach or a $100,000 car?
No, I mean, the kids in this world, the expectation of what I hear my kids say that they think their first car is going to be, and the distortion between what it might actually be if they get one,
Yeah.
is completely different. Like, my first car was a Mazda 626. I'll never forget it.
Mazda
It was a
626.
burgundy Mazda 626.
Yeah.
And to me, it was dope back then.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was, it was a big body car, well, kind of mid-sized
Yeah.
car back then, and it was, to me, it was good because I expected to get like a real bad clunker and
Yeah.
managed to get that. So
I got you. Well, I think my first car was a Nissan Sentra.
oh, that's not so bad.
So I mean, when it comes to that, I didn't have expectations of a luxury car or anything. I understood. I understood. I was like just turned 18, and I understood what I was getting was what I needed. And I got it was brand new though. I got a brand new 1992 Nissan Sentra.
I remember those too.
Yeah, I
The
drove
body
that thing
style.
all the way from North Carolina to Texas,
Did
back
you
and
get-
forth.
Was it brand new when you got it?
Listen,
Wow.
my mom took me up on, it was in Nissan dealership. She took me up there and she was nervous. I was nervous. And after the second day, I drove away with it, brand new.
Oh,
and
wow.
then I had to drive it from North Carolina to Texas to my first duty station. But it was cool. It was cool. But I didn't let my expectations go wild.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was like maybe $17,000 maybe back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. Or if it was 15 or something like that. But yeah, I was grounded. So I didn't get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some more of these. Oh, this is one for the females.
Let me hear this one.
This is one for the females. Because different women have different bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And every female can't do what every female can wear. Well, you know what? You can actually wear it. You can put it on, and you can put it on. But is it gonna look like what you've seen that made you go buy it? Okay, I'm gonna put the slide up. And So these skin color leggings. These skin color, well, not even the color, but you see the female with skin color leggings on the left, and you see female on the right. Reality.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
it's you have to stay grounded. Stay in a place where you're comfortable.
But people don't.
They don't. Listen, I don't know how this person on the screen on the right looked at that something on the left and said, you know what, I can do the same thing. Would you do something if you know you're not going to look good in it? Is that a question? Would you do something you know you're not going to look good in it?
Okay, so for me, 9 times out of 10, no, I have to really want to wear something.
And I get that from you.
To push it to the limit. Like for me, leggings are not pants. They're not jeans. They're not anything. They are nothing more than it's almost like you're walking around in your panties at home when you have leggings on.
Right.
I am guilty of it. I wear them all the time. I'll wear them out of the house as well. But they're not pants.
Yeah.
But fortunate for me, I have a decent enough body that I can get away with that.
Yeah.
But I've seen some women out there that have no business in some of the things that they wear, and they just don't care.
Now, the question, do they expect that with anything, not just leggings, but anything, do they, when you see something and you have expectations of it, do you not feel like maybe reality is not going to be like that? So when I was doing my little research, it says that it is impossible for a human to live without expectations. It's impossible. We have to have expectations of something.
Correct. So in talking about, what you just said as far as wearing certain things, like the expectation is I'm not going to buy something that I don't expect will look good on me.
Right.
I already have an idea of the do's and the don't list that, things that I know look good on me.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is that 8 times out of 10, it does look good.
Yeah.
But there's that little percent of things that even I know that I shouldn't be wearing and might not get away with.
Right.
I have a very flat stomach, but my stomach still has a little ripples in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I gave birth to 3 children, so I feel like I earned that right.
Yeah.
Even though my stomach is flat, I get self-conscious, and I still push the envelope and wear sports bras out of the house sometimes. So the reality is I got ripples on my stomach.
Right.
Not many, but a few that if I can see it, I know you can see it.
Right.
And I'll still push the envelope and let the reality be known.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line. You have to be not high but not low. Mm-hmm. Like you have to take you have to look at yourself and say, okay, can I do this or not? And if you, and at the end of the day, if you like it, then hell, go with it. But reality is that you're not gonna achieve what you thought your expectations were. I mean, some people do. Like, let me see. Can you think of a time where your expectations were matched? Exactly what you thought it was going to be. It was just that.
That's so vague.
Yeah, like anything. It was like a trip to, I don't know, Africa or whatever you thought it was going to be. It turned out to be just that.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
In May, on my birthday.
Okay.
My ex-significant other, whatever you want to call it, took me on a beautiful trip to Cancun.
Yeah.
And I had never been to Mexico.
Right.
The way that it was laid out for me, what I had seen about the resort, what I had, it played like nothing compared to when I actually arrived. The expectation was I was whelmed before I got there, and I was completely overwhelmed once I got there. It was an exclusive adults only resort called Temptations. It was the dopest experience ever. Yeah. I was overwhelmed. The reality
it exceeded it.
It super exceeded.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
I loved it. That's like one of the few instances that I can think of that it met my expectations.
So, was it that the place was really over the top, or did you just go into it knowing that this is very new to me? You went into it knowing this is somewhere I haven't been. So I don't know, but usually I tell you what, if your expectations are always met or are met, then that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. You're in a good place then. You're not high, you're not low.
Not always. It's not always, because it's more often than not that our expectations are, like you said, underwhelmed.
Right.
And I mean, the reality of the expectation is underwhelmed, and we don't actually get what we expect to receive.
Right. Mm-hmm. So another thing is you should stop expecting people to act or do what you want them to do, and somewhat understand and cater to what they are and how they are, and usually that person will start acting and moving like you want them to move. I guess trying to control someone and trying to tell them that I don't want you to do it, stop trying to stop them. If you just give to it, it says that, and eventually that person will start moving the way you want them to move.
I disagree with that. I think that right there is the biggest point of when you are upset by the ideal of what you thought you would receive from someone, especially relationally, versus what you actually get. And people forget, you cannot put you on somebody else. You can't expect yourself from somebody else.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. We've touched on this a little bit before in relationships. It's just, if you think you're going to change somebody and then they don't change and then you're upset because the reality is they're like, I am who I am.
But let's talk about it. So husband and wife.
Okay.
Wife has expectations of the husband. Mm-hmm. The husband has his expectations of the wife. So you have to have something. I mean, you don't want to change it, but you're thinking, in my mind, this is how it should be. You have a vision of how it should be.
You do.
So are you saying you should never ever have a vision, and because you're gonna hurt your feelings, you're gonna be disappointed?
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't have expectations. I think that they should be reasonable, and reasonable to everybody can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So reasonable would be something that is attainable, because a lot of times people have things that are not attainable for that specific person.
Right.
And that's where the disappointment comes into play.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Definitely see that.
Yeah. What about you?
As far as what?
It's from a male perspective. Have you ever been married?
Yes.
When it comes to marriage versus dating as a single man or in a long-term relationship, what are your thoughts on that when it comes to expectation?
I think that before you get married, you already have built up the expectations of what she's going to be. Mm-hmm. I think that, but to a certain level, because you don't know. Mm-hmm. You're getting there, but you have. True. Let's say if you're walking up some steps, you done took a couple steps before you get married. You have a vision of what she's going to be like, and I think that, like I was reading, if you accept whatever she's, how she moves, how she talks, what she does, I think trying to change her is not gonna work. Mm-hmm. The more you accept it, the more she'll change and be more of how you visioned her to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, relationships are hard work anyway. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's go back to these slides, man. I got a couple more. This next one is for the fellas. So guys, we work out.
Yes.
And sometimes we think we maybe look better than we really do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we really do. We think that we look better than we really do. But I'm going to put this next slide up and we'll go into it. So, when we're working out, our expectation is that we're going to be buff, cut up, and we're going to look good, and we're going to be everything we need to be.
Yes.
But if you look on the right side of reality,
far from, it's
not that.
No, not at all. When it comes to working out, I've seen a lot of people, not just men, women in the gym that don't have the proper form, that are sloppy in movement, that have weights that are too heavy or not heavy enough. Their reps don't match the consistency with what they need to do, and it ends up being a bad situation. Yeah. So you get a lot of the reality when you're not doing things how you're supposed to be doing them. Especially when it comes to the
right. Well, I mean, when guys work out, I mean, we think we looking like that guy on the left, but we really looking like that guy on the right.
Well, no, sometimes you do get some men that, the expectation is the reality.
Yeah. Right.
A lot goes into that.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I mean, expectations and reality, man. I've always been grounded, man. So reality for me, coming from a place as a kid that I didn't have much, I was stuck in reality. So I never had so many things to where my expectations were set so high. You know what I'm saying? If you understand, like a kid that's born, into wealth or whatever may have you, his expectations like, listen, when I get my first car is going to be a Maybach because he's born into wealth.
Right.
But if you're not born into wealth, your first car expectation is going to be
probably no car.
Yeah, no
probably
car.
no car.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's different. All right, let me get up this next slide real fast, and I'm gonna let you talk about this one. Can you see it?
Yes.
Living with your significant other. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. When it comes to living with significant others, I think the expectation factors. Depends. Has this person or have you ever been married before? Because if you have or they have, your expectation is always going to be different than the reality because you already know what's up.
Right.
When it comes to, that just dating, get to know you, start all over process, the expectation is that, you want to hang out with that person. You want to spend a lot of time with that person. But reality is you have to work. You might have kids. You might have other obligations and responsibilities. When you live with somebody, the expectation I've noticed is that you have to be ready to just get it whenever.
Yeah.
In reality, we could be on our cycles, or we could be tired,
right.
or you could have to work. And
right.
So for you to expect me to be hot and ready every time you want it is kind of a fallacy. Like, that doesn't really happen necessarily.
Right.
So I don't know. What do you think, Gwen?
Hello, Gwen.
Hello.
Okay.
So we're going over some things, Gwen, about expectations and reality. And that slide I just put up, I'll put it back up. Is pretty much when you move in with your significant other, what you think it's going to be and what it actually is, What the biggest thing from a guy's point of view, when he moves in with his girl, he think he's got in-house booty.
Exactly.
In-house
what I just
booty.
said. Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you might not get it as much as you was getting it when you wasn't living with her. Real talk.
Truth, facts, 100%.
Real talk. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think like when you move in with someone, you feel like you're expecting like to be stable. You're expecting for
that's good.
For less stress to be upon you. Mm-hmm. But in reality, somehow you always face that stress. Whether it's the man or the woman, someone end up always, taking more, having to put more in, or
than the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a good one.
That is good.
We didn't say that one.
Yeah,
so that's a really good one.
Yeah. So when we were having a good conversation, you missed a couple minutes about reality, and I was telling Yezi, I think if you can just stay grounded, stay not high but not low, but stay where when something happens and you have expectations of it, and when it doesn't happen like that, don't let it rock you. You know what I'm saying? Just adjust and move on, and because if it shakes you and rocks you, then you're just all messed up in your head.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You definitely gonna disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
And since I'm from Chicago, I definitely I always go in prepared for the worst. And which I know you should not be. You should always be optimistic about things.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, I just go prepared, expecting that this could happen.
Right.
Do you do that so that you don't get set up in your mind, or so it's not a disappointment at the very end?
Because then I know how I am when I'm let down, and I don't want to feel like that. So I know, I'm going to be super depressed, all this type of stuff. And when you encounter that so many times, you just stop expecting things from people. Yeah. Not even just people. It's
just in general.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This it says once you learn to leverage disappointment from expectation, you start to gain something every time you experience it. So once you understand it, when you do go through disappointment from expectation, you actually learn from it. You actually gain something from it. Think about that. Think about that real fast. So if you can somehow understand it and not like it, but you start to gain from it. Like say you had expectations of something and you're going into it and it doesn't happen and it doesn't affect you at all.
Excuse me.
It made you stronger. It made you stronger. But okay, so this next slide that we're gonna put up is for this one is for all the workers that during the pandemic they started working from home. You know, everybody was like, "Listen, I can work from home and telework. As long as I got my company computer, I can work from home." And everybody thought they was gonna be at the house, just chilling at the house, working or whatever. And this next slide I'm gonna put up shows you the reality of working from home.
We both can attest to that. Because I worked from home during the pandemic at some points too. And
So the slide pretty much has a female. She's working at home. Her expectation is that she got the dog in her lap. She got coffee. She's on the computer. It's like she's surfing to buy something, right? But the reality is, she didn't get no work done, and it looks like the dog and the husband is telling her, you know, it's 4 a.m. Come to bed. So reality is just that things are not going to always be what you think they are. They're not. In no fashion at all.
Yes, like it's a meme going out. They was like, I never knew you could be ready to get off work so fast and you work from home. Like, and that's definitely true. At first, I was like, oh, that's a piece of cake. And then eventually it was like.
It's more distracting.
Yes, and then
I think.
I feel like since I'm in Georgia and I don't really have family out here, like me, I thought working from home would be better, but me being out and working, I really liked it that better because I was able to meet people, interact with people.
Right.
And when I got home, and then of course I was active, so I was losing my weight. As soon as I got home, I got back chubby. So everything you had to flaws. I was just like, oh yeah, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. Because yes, then you just miss being around people. So yes, it is.
I didn't miss being around the people part. What I didn't like is when you're at home, you got mommy, you hear TVs, you hear stuff slamming, you hear kids fighting, you hear screaming, you hear, and you're trying to work and throw people on hold and try to be a mom and balance everything and cook on your break, and it was a bit much.
And it's always the customers that be like, working from home, huh?
Right.
Right. Oh, you must be working from home.
Yeah.
Yes, like 90% of the population is right now. Oh.
Yeah. Look at this. This is a quote from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said, "I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. And you are not in this world to live up to mine." What do you think about that? I'm not here to live up to your expectations, and you're not here to live up to mine. If we could actually grasp that and live like that, it would be awesome. Like, I would never have any expectations of you or of nothing. No, and when I get to that point or whatever it is, I just accept it the way it is. Mm-hmm. That would be you would probably decrease a lot of disappointment, a lot of stress.
The only one you'd be concerned about is your own, like you said, your own expectations. And you can't really, I really don't think you can fail yourself in your expectations. It just drives you to do more or to work harder or to do whatever it is that you need to do to meet your expectations.
Right. Mm-hmm. So did you guys see the versus battle between the Locks and Dipset?
That was insane.
I don't like either one of those groups, so I didn't even watch it.
You watched it? Entertaining. It was.
I heard it was. They were talking about it on every social media platform, but I didn't watch it.
So if we think about what we're talking about, the title, expectations and reality. So from what I looked at, the reality was that Dipset thought they was going to come in there and win and kill it.
Exactly, because they had all the hits.
Yeah, they had all the hits, and Dipset thought they was. I mean, they had the Timberlands on, they had the do-rags on, they had the chains on. They came in there looking like legends. They are legends. Mm-hmm. They're legends. But
Who's the last?
This dude named Jadakiss.
I was gonna
This
say,
dude
is that
named
Jadakiss?
Jadakiss.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Dipset brought a knife to a gunfight because that
Who's in Dipset? Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, Jules Santana,
Okay.
and I forgot the other guy.
Cameron.
But yeah, Cameron.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you watched it, I'm telling you, reality was reality in that shit. What did you like about it, Gwen?
I don't really care for rap, but it was I don't know if it was I guess like at first we didn't understand. I kind of understood how the aggressiveness from each side because we're from Chicago, and of course they say Chicago and New York act just the same, but at the same time it looks like they was having a good time. Nobody.
It was all love.
Yeah.
From what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like sometimes they wanted to knock each other out, but at the end of the day, it looked like they was like
having a good time.
But you can tell, I could tell that Dipset thought they was gonna come in there and win everything, and it went to. I think at one time Jadakiss told them they was Milli Vanilli, or he said something about you guys rapping on the beat or something, rapping on. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy, and I watched it, and I'm telling you, reality is reality. What else can we talk about that really demonstrates reality and expectations? Gwen, let me ask you a question. I already asked Yezi. So, has there ever been a time where you was doing something and your expectations were so high, and when you actually did it, it matched. It was still high. Like what you thought it was going to be, it was exactly that.
I'm curious to hear this one because you already just said that you already set yourself up for people, because people do people things.
Right.
So you set yourself up to not be disappointed. So I want to hear about a time that you were just like, yes, and it hit it like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know what time.
Oh! There's got to be one time.
Think of a time. Yes, I really prepare myself. Like,
well, has there ever been a guy you met thought he was going to be something and he was totally different? I mean, that would be
in a good way, right? He's like, no.
I hate to say it, I always think the worst. And if I think like this person is going to be this way, and if it they don't. Sometimes they are better, and sometimes
that's
they
a nice
are.
Surprise.
Yeah.
No, but it's not. Listen, but it's not bad if your expectations were not set so high. Like if you went into it knowing I'm going to see for myself what this is going to be about.
Yeah.
Can you think of a time? She's like,
Wow.
It's like I try to stay in reality. I definitely
Yeah.
So it's very hard. Like I definitely don't want to set no expectations too high that I'm definitely gonna let myself down. Even though who's to say it's too high, but I just feel like I don't want nobody to
disappoint you.
Right. Nobody wants disappointment.
What about you? Have you ever set and met an expectation? Or it was met for you?
Yes, let me see. That's a good question.
That's
a good question.
Because you're asking us.
So I think one of my birthdays, I had set my expectations. I rented a houseboat.
Ooh.
18 passenger houseboat.
Okay.
And we had it for the whole weekend. Nice. So the whole weekend we just sailing around on the lake. And the people that I invited, they showed up. So I met my expectations. The food was good. I think that is one time where everything was what I thought it was going to be. The only thing I didn't like is that people that were on the boat, they all of a sudden had to go home, and we had to drive the boat back to the dock, and then we would go back out, and then someone would say, "I'm ready to go." We had to drive the boat back to the dock, and I didn't expect that. I was like, "Listen, we supposed to be out here till 5 a.m, and we had to keep making trips back to the dock to let people off." You know what I'm saying? That I didn't expect that, but everything else was that's a good time. It was a good time.
Where was that at? Here?
That was here, and that was
Lake Lanier?
Lake
I was
Lanier.
about to say.
Lake Lanier.
Okay.
Lake
How did
Lanier.
that go? I'm scared to go to Lake Lanier. She went recently. I was
went to
like,
the water park.
hell no.
I went to the water park.
Yeah, that was Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, see, you know what they say about Lake
I'm
Lanier?
telling
but
you.
see, to my defense, I didn't know all that they say now. The underworld, and all that stuff. I didn't know
before you went. Okay.
Yes, let me tell you. So this houseboat had a slide that slid down into water. Yes, we was all on the slide into the deep water.
Is it ugly, murky water, or
Yes.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's brown, yeah.
Yeah.
It's brownish, like
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah. You know what about Myrtle Beach? Myrtle Beach is
I've never been to Myrtle Beach. Have you been to Myrtle Beach?
dirty ass water.
I heard it was murky and dirty.
It's dirty. You got to go to Florida. Hate to say, I don't even like Florida.
Lake, so.
You don't like Florida?
I don't even like Florida.
Why?
I don't.
He said, I don't. What happened in
It's
Florida?
overrated.
It is overrated.
It's overrated.
Miami.
I like even the beaches in Miami are kind of ugly.
I've never been.
It's
Tell me about it.
It's overrated.
You
But
been
I
to
like
South
Tampa. Tampa, I love Tampa.
What color's the water?
No,
What color's the
you're
water?
talking
The
about
water was
closer
blue.
to Clearwater.
Yeah, I was at Clearwater.
Clearwater is.
I was
I
at
heard it's
Clearwater.
pretty.
My daughter went to go to the beach and go have sand. We
Okay.
went to Clearwater,
Uh-huh.
and I love that place.
I heard that's pretty.
It wasn't bad at all.
But like Jacksonville, like the Miamis, the Fort Lauderdales, those beaches are ugly.
So listen, if you got your expectations set on something like that at Myrtle Beach, you're gonna disappoint yourself. You better go to Florida.
I wouldn't never know. I
You
would have went in there thinking up.
Oh,
It's a nice more than Myrtle Beach because
So-
everybody be acting like Myrtle Beach just got this good look.
Is it just cheap to go to Myrtle Beach? Because they go for bikers weekends. They go for all kinds, like the.
Maybe
the thing you
it's
drive?
because I've been so many times. Maybe.
What do you do when you go? What's
Yeah.
the appeal for you to go? Is it like a biker event?
It's-
that you
well,
go to?
every time I've went, pretty much, I used to take my son and my daughter down there for the summer for about 4 or 5 days. But the other time was for bike week.
Okay, that's
Bike
what I
week.
thought. That's what most people go is for bike week.
Yeah.
So it's and that's fun. Biker events, hands down, fun. The best fun you will have is biker events.
But let's get back on these beaches. So I'm telling you, if like y'all, you said Clearwater.
Yes.
So Clearwater was great.
Yes, I liked it that way.
All right. So your expectations of that was that had you already been there?
No.
Had you seen brochures or anything?
No.
So you didn't know what you was good-
It was so many beaches in Tampa, so when I was just reading the reviews to see which one was the best one to go to because they had so many beaches, and Clearwater was like the best one, so that's where we went.
So when you left, you was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I come back here. And then I called my friends like, we gotta come to Tampa. I definitely called them, and I was like, we gotta make this a trip. Like,
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Gwen, what about them hairstyles? We talked about this before you got here. So females love to see another female and be like, you know what? I like that. And they ask that female, who did that for you? So sometimes when you go get that same hairstyle, reality kick in. It don't look as good as it was when you seen it at the club on another girl.
Definitely not. I mean, like, and then you definitely have to keep in mind, like, your hair shape, that person's hair shape, that hair texture.
Yeah.
So it's so much that comes to play with that. So yeah,
Well,
I say it's cute, but if I know it don't fit me, I would not go.
Yeah, that's
She's
what
picky.
we said. We said at the end of the day, it's if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're comfortable with it, it's a go. But if you're not comfortable with it, it's not. Look at my cousin. My cousin said, my cousin was on the boat trip I was telling you guys about. CP. As there's Tierra Valentine is Miami is definitely overrated. She said it's overrated. Come
It's
on.
expensive.
I forced
and
them
overrated.
there.
Wait a minute.
I forced them there, I think, like twice, and they hated it every time.
Tierra.
like Miami.
Tierra said it's overrated.
I could
Yeah.
live in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, but like as far as the beaches and just like to pick up from here to go there, I would never like to go on a trip there. I'm always passing through Miami. I'm never just going to Miami.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I've been to Miami, I don't know if it was because that was my first time. I had so much fun.
Did
And
you?
Yes, it was the point to the death.
South
That's
Beach,
why
probably.
I wanted them to come with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I made that my birthday trip. So I didn't never know. Like I knew, like, yeah, everybody be on Ocean Drive. Like that's like the good place or whatever the case may be. So I'm definitely like. When I went, I was definitely expecting the best because I hear like that is definitely the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was super fun. But when I went back that second time, I definitely was like,
The
I kinda
vibe is
understood
different.
them. I was like, yeah. But we tried to make the best of it. But it was like we tried to rush so many things
Mm-hmm.
because we only had 2 days there. But I don't know if that was like why I didn't really like it, but I didn't really like it that second time.
Well, so from you coming from Chicago, living in Atlanta, to go to Miami, the vibe is different. The crowd is different. The people are different. Everything is different. Like, for me, I don't really like going out in Miami, and I definitely don't like the beach in Miami. Because to me, like I said, it's just ugly.
Yeah, I never been to the beach. Only been on the Strip and the bars. Like, we never went to the water.
To the actual water. What about you, as far as your favorite place? What is your favorite place to go beach-wise that you've been to?
That's the thing. Yazzie.
You haven't been to a lot of beaches?
I haven't been to not one beach in Florida. But I've been to. No, I'm sorry. I went to Daytona Beach. Yeah. I went to Daytona Beach. I was only there for 2 days. But Daytona remind me of Myrtle Beach.
Really?
Dirty water. I'm serious. I'm serious. Daytona was. It just trash on the street. The
Like
the hotels wasn't colorful with the.
Well,
I wasn't
hate
impressed.
That dirty water over like when I went to Cabo, that water was so salty. I came out that water.
I hate salt. Right, I hate salt water.
I hated it.
The Caribbean is beautiful, but I hate salt water.
Was very beautiful.
It's only to go and sit and look cute on the beach, not to like go get in and swim. Your skin itches.
I had
got
gray stuff
nipping
at
your
face. I ain't like it.
All right, well, let's get into some of these. These are some signs that expectations are running your life, like you're just head over heels. So if you're always getting mad at something simple as your coffee was made wrong and you just blow up about that, your expectations of your coffee shouldn't make you go blow the
your
roof.
anal retentive. You get upset about coffee.
You're always feeling like people let you down. Remember, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. If you feel like somebody let you down, then they're not living for you. I just read that thing from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said, "I'm not here for your expectations, and you're not here for my expectations." So, if people let you down, then you need to get a grip.
So that used to like really upset me when people would do things. My expectation was no, people should do things how I do things.
Why would
because
you do
my
that,
way is the right way? Damn it.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
I feel like that too. I feel like
Why?
say for instance, I feel like, hey, she have this good little nails. She's doing nails, and it's making her so much money. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, what's your technique? And I'm feeling like, hey, if I would tell Yesenia the sauce how to make money, or how to start something, like I'm setting this expectation that she'll do it for me.
Yeah.
Just because I know I do it for that person.
Yeah.
But in reality, she don't have to give me that. Some people, if I feel like, hey, I had to learn this on my own, so maybe you should learn this on your own.
Yeah.
So that is reality, but you can't expect. I think we do expect others to.
We do.
Be just like us, and that is definitely a fail. Like
we do, and it's. But I think the reason why I think that people should do some things like I do them because I am meticulous in everything that I do, especially when it comes to like business things and things of certain natures. Like I feel like my way is the right way. And if you challenge that, like I have a problem with that. I'm getting, as I get older, I'm getting better, and I'm learning to not let the things that people do affect like my everyday life and how I interact with that person. Because one thing that most people do is when somebody does something that's totally against what you believe or how you feel or what you think, we get in our feelings about it. And it causes the relationship or the friendship or the whatever it is to like create a problem or a rift. And when you don't do that, you're able to just let people be who they are. And you have to learn to value and respect someone for who they are without trying to change them. And we all do it.
Right.
Yes, you had that bad, and I had to make you see both ways. I had to make her see, like, I had to tell her, like, look at this way, look at that way, and I didn't want to try to force that on her, but she always had these expectations, like she really believed people, and that's the good in you, that you believe everything that someone says.
Not everything. She calls me gullible.
Very.
I'm not that gullible. I'm not. She's just. But you said it. You don't allow yourself to be set up to be disappointed. And for me, because of the way that I am in my personality, I'm not gonna, like, in my mind, I think that's living my life like in a glass jar, looking out of the jar at everyone else living their life. Like, even if I get hurt 100 times, I'm gonna let myself be vulnerable at least 99% of that time, so that I can grow and learn from that. And it has been a demise. Like, I've been hurt from that. I've been mistreated from that. People have taken advantage of that. But, like, it doesn't cause me to withdraw. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what goes to show the difference.
So that is good, yeah. So that is good.
It's good and bad.
From it, but yeah.
It's good and bad.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the relationship part of reality. So no one thinks they're gonna get cheated on, right? I mean, so at the end of this conversation, we want to understand that reality is that anything can happen. Mm-hmm. So when we talked about you can't control nobody, I mean, you can only understand them and study them and maybe figure out why they do what they do. Mm-hmm. But going into like a relationship, you can't. I mean, should you go into a relationship thinking, you know what, if he cheat on me or she cheat on me, then I'm going to be ready for it. You're going to be hurt, but how do you bounce back from that? Because reality is that it can happen.
It can, it does, and often.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because most people are really tore up. You know, it's oh my God, I can't believe he's cheating. Oh my God, he got another woman pregnant or whatever it is. It was reality. I mean.
She's thinking on it, so I'll jump on it. For me, when it comes to cheating, I think that cheating is different to everybody. So for me, I firmly believe that people forget it takes two people. Usually once you get to the point of quote unquote cheating, there have been umpteen times for you to correct the behavior on both sides. There's been opportunities to express and understand and change and redirect behavior patterns, thought processes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just, for whatever reason, they don't want to, or they just don't. And so I've been cheated on and I've cheated. And in my mind, the cheating aspect always came from being misunderstood. Like, they didn't take the time to really understand my needs and what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And so, and then being cheated on, I'm able to take, or being a quote unquote cheater in the past, I'm able to break the whys, the who's, what, where's, whys down a lot better and mm-hmm. really give them the benefit of the doubt, mm-hmm. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so what was the question again?
Yeah. pretty much like if you're in a relationship mm-hmm. and the reality is that anything can happen.
Yeah.
But you don't want the worst thing to happen. But when the worst thing does happen, how do you keep yourself in not high but not low, but right to where you need to be to where it doesn't destroy you? Like you're going into a relationship like, oh, I got the best man, I got the best girl. That's not gonna happen. But when it happens, how do you keep yourself grounded? Like, do you always say don't say it can't happen? Or
right. Yes, of course. I never think it couldn't happen. One thing I like, if I do set an expectation, I'm definitely heavy on the commitment.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that part, and I had learned. Well, I'm gonna say, when it comes to commitment, someone had told me men don't purposely cheat. Well, no one purposely cheat. They don't just go out and be like, hey, I'ma just cheat on her, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. You just bump into a person that vibe is just like giving you what you need.
Okay.
So, in reality, I feel like, I don't know, I can't say how I would feel. I don't know how
well, remember the way to control it is that if you're not all caught up and if you stay in reality. Not saying go 1,000% into your relationship, but just reality is that something can happen. With anything. Just not relationships, with anything.
I'm gonna be let down, so I already know that. So.
Yeah.
Because I think that is definitely an expectation. I'm commitment, so.
Are you a commitment phobe?
I love, so I'm not gonna say that. So definitely, if I like you, and I feel like you shouldn't do me wrong. But at the same time,
Okay, so I have a question. So you know me, always playing devil's advocate. So if you go into the expectation of being in a relationship, being monogamous with
Right.
just that person,
Okay.
that's the expectation that
Right.
when we go into this, we're monogamous. But then circumstances in life happens, and maybe that person or you cheated, or maybe something happens and they can't be physically intimate with you anymore. I mean, all kinds of scenarios could happen. What do you do with that? Like, if something like that happened, how do you change the dynamic of what your expectations are, and reevaluate or reassess the relationship? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how do you change your expectations at that point? So, like, for example, I have always, and I love throwing myself under the bus, but I have always been what I would call polyamorous, right? And a lot of my conversations lead back to this, but
Yeah.
I've always been this way since I was in my early teen years. I knew that I was different, and I always said to my mother, who fought me and said, "That doesn't make no damn sense. That's not God. That's not this. That's not that." I've always said to her, there is no way that one person can love another person and that just be your end all be all. That doesn't make sense to me. Love is supposed to be multiplied, not divided, not subtracted from, it should be addition and multiplication. Always, hands down, has always been my motto. Okay, so when I was in one of my marriages, this person continually cheated in multiple different ways, quote unquote cheated, whether it was an emotional attachment, whether it was a physical attachment, whether it was just them communicating. I always felt like somebody that is in your life consistently is more cheating than someone that you just, slide off with one time or two times. And so that helped to really mold my philosophy and my thought patterns on being polyamorous. So that even solidified the fact of whether you're a man or a woman, you weren't designed to be with just one person. So my expectation was interrupted by the reality of what was actually happening. Mm-hmm. So it changed and molded like my whole thought pattern and thought processes. Do you think that is possible? Do you think that it was just because of something it was circumstantial? Or what do you think about that? What do either one of you think about that? I know it was long-winded, but
Yeah, it was.
I was trying to get it out. I couldn't quite get it out.
Circumstantial. Oh man, I don't know. What's stink when?
Found my lead.
Yeah, I think it was.
Are y'all trying to say I didn't make sense with that one? That wasn't clear.
No, it was clear. I don't know.
It was a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a minute on that one.
Okay.
Let's read some of these comments. Tierra Valentine says, I feel like the first time it happened, I was devastated, but as I have gotten older, I don't give out as many chances. I will leave in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. So she's talking about that expectation of a marriage, and then, when reality hits in and you got cheated on or he got someone pregnant. She says, as you get, with anything, as you get older, you get wiser.
You do. You should.
You get wiser. You're not going to take what you would take at a younger age. You know what I'm saying? Chantel Hartley says, exactly, I used to cheat back, but as I matured, I have the desire for someone else. I don't need to be with you. Wow. You only get one shot with some people.
I don't know if when she says the desire to be with someone else, I don't think that desires ever really go away when it comes to attractions and being with other people. I think that you learn to control it better, because it's not like you go blind. It's not like your senses dull when you're in a relationship or when you're married. You just learn to harness it and channel it better.
Yeah. Well,
I think.
Well, if like what Tierra Valentine said, if you stay again and it happens again, who's the fool? Who's the person? I mean, so I like what she said. Mm-hmm. If you stay in that situation after what just occurred.
You're asking.
I mean,
for it.
yeah. So the next time it
really are.
happens, you kept yourself in that situation.
True.
You can always remove yourself from a situation.
True.
Yes,
If
it's
reality
definitely
shows
back to
you
me.
and it doesn't go the way you want it, you always can rethink it and move a different way.
Because in reality, we can say we forgive, but we gonna
Ooh,
always
we
think
don't.
about it. We gonna
Oh, yeah.
always
We
think
don't.
about it, and it's gonna keep you.
It
Wherever
comes
you
out.
go, we gonna be thinking he's cheating or whatever.
It comes
So
out. Is that how
you
it
might
goes?
as well leave. Yes.
Gwen, is that how it
women.
goes though?
It is.
So
It
so
is.
so for the women, there's a lot of women out there that have stayed. They're always in the back of their mind thinking that he's doing something.
Yes, even if you forgive him, like they say you're supposed to forgive and forget, but some people never forget. Like
It's so much easier to say that than to actually do that.
right, yes, like and sometimes you believe someone can change, like, but that's,
Is that going back to that potential?
Kind of.
I'm with you for your potential, and I'm not in the reality of what you are right now,
Right.
but I'm dating you because I see potential.
right.
Is that right?
It
Is that
definitely
right,
goes
Gwen?
back to it. Definitely
Is
goes
that right?
back to that. It definitely does.
So why would we date someone for their potential? Like you could become something, but right now I have to accept you how
the
you
way
are.
you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
You know
is,
how I
like,
feel about
dumbing
potential.
yourself down,
Yeah,
you know?
I remember.
I
Yeah.
feel about it.
I like to give people chances. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But
There's nothing wrong with giving people chances.
No,
man.
it's not.
Being a good person is what this world needs. But reality needs to always be on one side of your brain that's letting you know, listen, I know. I know what's happening, but at the same time, don't put all your eggs in that basket yet.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I just said this the other day. When someone takes a crazy shot and they actually make the shot, nothing is said. But when someone takes a crazy shot and they miss it, it's like, what the hell are you doing?
right.
And you got to apply that to life.
Yeah.
Like you're anytime something is successful, you sell a book or you sell your house, you're good. But when you do something stupid, it's a lot of questions like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Agreed.
Why did you do that? And at the end of the day, if you stay grounded and stay in a safe place where you're never up and you're never down. Have you ever met someone like that to where Yezi, have you ever met someone like that to where they can win $1 million, but they still the same level. They don't get too excited. They don't get too low. They're just the same person every day. Like they give you that. They don't get excited about nothing.
I'm trying to think. I'm doing like a.
Gwen, you know what I'm talking about? They're just so mellowed out that nothing shocks them. Nothing.
Right.
They could open up
think
this
of
door.
anybody.
It could be whatever, and they're not
Everybody
phased.
I know is passionate about something, so I can't think of anybody that's just like.
Because
Yeah,
because
as much as you don't want to,
because in my opinion, that person is living life. Like,
why do you say that?
That's because listen, nothing you do, nothing I see on TV,
Will
nothing
faze me.
will affect me. I'm still going to be
Wow.
like if I wake up in the morning and my mind frame is to go take a jog and drink some coffee and whatever, nothing can shake me from that.
That's how I see you.
that's
I
so
think.
hard.
Nothing
to
can
live
shake me
without
from that.
Emotions, though, it's so hard. Like,
But that's when I think that's self-control when you're with yourself and you're so focused that I don't care what's going. It's like tunnel vision, kind of, sort of. But if I'm gonna do me, and I don't care, like some people. This is getting deep, but some people are so bothered that their friends are having success, and they can't even stay focused. But if you were focused on doing what you were doing, then whatever your friends are having
You're not
success or
paying
whatever,
attention
you're not
to
paying
it.
no attention to that because you got your own lane. You know what I'm saying? And I know a couple people who, I know a female. Anything can happen. She's still kind of like that same level.
And that's
Same
rare
level.
to hear that from because women are so emotional.
No.
with
I know a female.
No.
I know a female.
emotions, we do. Like, so it's
She's always even keel. Just
Really?
yeah, even keel. She open up a present and it could be whatever in that box. It's always
Oh no.
even keel.
No.
Yeah, that's not something I want to master. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I like showing emotion. Sometimes too much of it, but I like showing
Yeah.
emotion.
Well, people grow on your emotions. People play on your emotions.
Oh yes.
You put yourself out there, people say, "Oh, she's gullible," or "Oh, she likes
Hello, she thinks I'm gullible
this."
because I'm nice. And most people, because I'm happy-go-lucky and I smile and I laugh and I giggle, they see, oh, gullible. But that's not necessarily true. I just think you get more with sugar and honey than you do with vinegar and salt.
Tierra Valentine said, "I can forgive, but it doesn't mean I forget."
I've heard a lot of people
Tierra,
say that.
why stay then? Why? If you can forgive it, but you're not gonna forget it, then
If you can't forgive it, then you haven't really forgiven
Yeah.
it, in my mind.
yeah.
So can you really move on?
No.
Can you really move on and
No.
keep going? But you haven't forget. I can't forget that shit you did.
No, because if you don't forget, little things are going to throw you into that state of mind or that state of being that you were at when that person did whatever they did. And it's going to constantly just be you might as well just walk. You might as well leave. Instead of making them miserable and making yourself miserable, just walk.
Because it's going to always
Your
draw
mom
your
said.
mind back to
Your
that.
mom said, "Time for you to hit the rock." That's what your mom said. She said, "It's time for you to roll, bro."
Be up out of him. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And it's sad, but that happens in a lot of relationships.
It does.
Infidelity.
I personally
It just
been through it.
that happens a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't wish nobody to be in that position to where, you getting cheated on and you really want to stay here. You like the house, the kids like the house, and you just in a bad position. Like, God, my heart is not here. I don't want to be in this house. I'd rather
your
be out
heart
at
is
Walmart,
gone.
Target, or something.
Right.
Like you stay gone all the time, just so you ain't got
You
to be
may
in
as
that
well
house.
go. You may as well go.
Yeah.
When your heart's gone.
Living in prison.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
So I got a question. So the expectations you all set, do you feel like they are high, too high? What would you think, like, in reality? Would you say they are too high, like, or would you say it's, like, reasonable?
So I compartmentalize, and this gets me in trouble a lot, but I don't deal with any two people alike. So when I say compartmentalize, when I first meet people, I study you, I assess you, I get to know you, I get I pay attention to your patterns, and that helps me to not box you in, but put you in separate compartments with how I deal with you, how we interact, and this, I'm not saying it's a good thing, it's just something that I think from trauma that I've learned to do with people, and I guess in a sense it's like what you said, where you don't set yourself up to be disappointed or to have people be able to affect you, rub you in the wrong way, take you to a certain state of mind or being, and that's kind of what I do when it comes to people.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
What about
Yeah,
you?
I would say, so I don't never set my expectations. When I was younger, I did. When I was younger, I did. I think you're
Me
just
too.
young. You don't know no better.
Gullible, yes.
But now I always have a little caution about something. Never hurts nothing.
I agree.
Safety or whatever. So anytime I'm going somewhere or somewhere, especially somewhere I've never been or something like that, reality is always heavy on me. Like, what is this really going to be about? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give them about a 50-50. I'm not giving you more than 50. And when I get there, that 50 can rise up to an 80 or 90 or whatever once
Yeah.
I physically see it.
You
Well,
can
let me
build
ask you
on
a
it.
question. I'm not going to ask you because you've been here too. No. Gwen, this is for you. Gwen, now, this is your second trip to Straight Up TV. And on behalf of Straight Up TV, thank you. Right?
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I want to know your expectations. So when you were told that you were coming to podcasts, I don't know what all you were told, but the first time we had food. It was nice, clean room. What was your expectations of when you were told you're coming to a podcast?
I was I was really just like thinking like, oh, this is not for me. Because it's not people, like my expectations was like, I don't really know how it's gonna go because I don't really know anyone, and how I am with people I don't know. Like I was like, maybe if this was my friends, I probably,
Be more comfortable.
I would vibe more. But it definitely turned out to be differently, and I definitely loved it. I loved everyone vibe up in here. It was, your whole setup was nice as well. Everything is just like very nice. Like even your trees, like you don't have to do that for people, but everything is set up very nice. Like
So your expectations were set at a...
Yeah, I was
so
like,
she didn't answer the question.
I wasn't really expecting this to.
How close to reality was it?
It was not close. Like I thought it was gonna be like, my reality was this was not like gonna be something I was in.
Like this.
Yeah. But
That's what I thought too when I had first come as a guest. I was like, oh.
Wait a minute.
I did. I was
Jazzy.
so surprised because remember how okay, we're not gonna talk about that. But when I found out it was in your home, first thought was, man, in his house. I don't know.
Oh
this
yeah, I
dude.
can say that too. Because
know.
I didn't know it was like. But when I came, it was like the setup was. You would never
very
know.
professional.
Yes,
Never.
Very yes.
You
so
are
I never know.
so professional that you make everyone feel so comfortable that you any type of reserves or any type of reservation someone would have had, it like is gone once you hit the door. And the studio from everything is so professional. Like my expectations were exceeded because I didn't expect any of that when I first came.
Wow.
So I can agree with her.
Wow.
Yes.
So reality was not reality.
No, it was
It definitely was.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It definitely exceeded. It definitely was.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Because
let's
if they
flip
could
it.
see
Let's
this, they
flip
could
it.
see that you went all in, like all in. If
So-
they could
so let-
see like the setup, like it's so nice, y'all. Like
So let's flip
Yeah.
it. Let's flip it.
you invested.
If you would have came and it was some bullshit. If you would have came, you'd have been like, reality is just, this is reality. One microphone and some shit. One
passing it
light.
around.
We passing it around. We elbows in here.
I wouldn't be too much. I don't know. I wouldn't say like I would have been as judgy. You got to start from somewhere,
Right.
But I would have been like, oh shit.
Depending on the vibe, I think
Yeah.
that would have been the hit or miss for you is the vibe.
Yeah.
Depending on
All
how
right.
the vibe
So
was.
so now that I done brung that home, now you actually see reality what expectations are, because you never been here. Both of you guys never been here. Well, you've been here 1,000 times now.
Yes,
But
yes.
this is your second trip. So okay. So is your second trip better than your first trip, or you're about the same?
Yeah, it's about the same. I still love the vibe. So yes, I'll say it's about the same.
Okay.
Good.
You all have not let me down.
Yeah.
Just-
So let's go with this. So check this out. So like, now that you've been here, Gwen, and you see the setup or whatever, let's say next week you're invited to another podcast. What would your expectations be of somewhere the next place you're going to you've never been? That's a podcast. Would this affect this experience? Would it affect your expectation of the next podcast?
I think I definitely would compare and contrast the whole little situation. I think I definitely would, because I'm going to just think like, hey, maybe the next one is just as good or set up as just as well. So, and then I get there.
And it's not.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying
So
to
I
build.
definitely I think I would go probably be expecting the same.
The same.
Yeah, what I'm trying to
Or
build
more.
is like some type of framework to where anything in life, when you have a little bit experience with it, when you be able to go into something new, what is your expectations? Like you like something like you this is your second time, so your feet are wet. You almost seasoned now, so when you do it the third time, how does that affect? Like I already went swimming in this ocean before.
Right.
I'm about to go swimming in the ocean again. So what am I? Do I have new expectations, or
Not
is
usually.
Is it the same?
I think the same. The same. And if you're wild, that's even better. But I think definitely the same. Nothing
Yeah.
less than the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. New things. People love new things, though. People love new things. No, nothing stays the same anyway. So I mean, you always want to feel like you're doing something new. Some adventure. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you do, you continue to do. You're actually going to get better at it, but you need some new. You need some new in your life.
Nothing better than old but new. Just saying.
I agree. 'Cause, yeah, if it is the same, I feel like that's probably why relationships fail.
It is.
People get so
Complacent.
Yeah.
Complacent. I
We
would
definitely
agree.
just need to change up. So I guess if we do the same thing, we're
Yeah.
gonna be used to it, and we don't change up like our relationships. We don't like go different places, try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Then hey, we are
It's the
over it.
definition of
Okay,
insanity.
we had a comment here that says, "Don't say it can't happen, and surround yourself with positive people and positive situations." Right? Carson, is that Carson Miller? I can't see it. And there's some haters in here, man.
What did they say?
That's my brother. He said, "Take that hat off." You know, repping North Carolina. Just haters, man. What did Tierra say? Tierra Valentine says, "Going forward, as I started, I don't give out as many chances as I once did." Okay, I think I read that already. I don't know. So, Gwen, how was your day, though? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you how your day was.
Of course, not on time. Today I was on, I don't know what type of time. Like, oh God, it was terrible. I don't know. It started out okay. I felt like time is never on my side, never. But when I woke up, I felt like I was gonna be prepared because I woke up at 9, and so I was like, hey, I have enough time to clean up a little bit and do whatever. And then I took me like a little appetizer, suppressor, and then all of a sudden, hey, I was on the toilet. I'm sorry, y'all. But it was like,
No, wow.
yeah. So I mean, it was terrible.
I love how honest and truthful
Yeah.
she is.
She is honest.
Everybody been through that where and it's always when you go to walk out the door that your stomach is like, nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And my brother said, "Love you, bro." Yeah, bro, you just hated on me. Your mom threw them eyes.
all
She said,
love.
"Looking at you." Yeah. So hey, listen, we've been streaming for. Let's see how long we've been streaming. We've been streaming for 1 hour and 16 minutes, and we're gonna get out of here. The topic today was expectations and reality, and I want to finish with saying that. Listen, man. Just find somewhere where you can stay even keel. Like everything that happens, you're just not over the top, excited or crazy. It throws you off your day. Mm-hmm. Stay focused. Stay in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because the main thing here is that you can't control what someone else is gonna do. Tomorrow, just think about it. One day we woke up and 9/11 was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, just stay focused in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, man, I think that we kind of touched on everything when it comes to, like we talked about, expectation versus reality. I think the main thing that I would reiterate is, again, people do people things. You cannot go into any type of friendship, relationship, marriage, whether it be a parent-child relationship. You have to realize that people are built and wired differently, and respect people for where they're at. Mm-hmm. That would probably be my takeaway.
I got you. Gwen?
I still came out the same.
I
already know. Like even it's I have to force myself, but yes, like I definitely try to not have high expectations of.
Yeah, of the simplest thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, like one more good example is that before we get out of here. So about 9 months ago, I went to the mall. I went to the mall, and I had my son with me. Went to the mall. Went in there. We was only in there for like 15 minutes, and came out, and my side, the whole right side of my truck the windows was gone. Ooh. Took 2 cameras and my laptop. And asked me what my expectations were for that day. I was just going into the mall to get a few things and came out, whole right side windows just shattered.
You were hot.
Man, well, listen.
Like
Shout out to renter's insurance.
Right.
Because I had renter's insurance, so I got it all back. But I parked, I turned the alarm on, me and my son went in, and
And the alarm was on?
Yep. Listen. They broke. The thing about it, Yezi, is that when I came out, there were some outside vendors maybe 30 feet away. And they had a line of 10 people in it. So when this happened, all those people watched it. You know what I'm saying? So when I came out and the police came, it was one of those things where my expectations of the police was not what it was supposed to be.
Right.
He came over there. He went into Macy's, and Macy's told him the cameras don't work outside. It was crazy. But my point is, though, when I went to the mall to go shopping for a minute, my expectation was just go in there and get something and come out.
Not to come back to your car.
And reality said, nah, bruh.
Oh, no.
Took 2 cameras and a laptop. And some more stuff. And my son, Air Jordans. Crazy. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. If you're first time tuning in, please subscribe, like, and comment. And we want to thank Miss Gwen for stopping by.
Yes.
Gwen, you got anything else?
No.
Gwen, I got something to ask you. I don't put you on the spot. What's your Instagram?
I don't have one. Instagram give me anxiety. I had one. My friends call me so weird, but when it's like too many people like start watching my stuff or like start commenting, I just shut down. Like,
yeah.
So I
so no Instagram. So you used to have Instagram.
Yes, and then I activated time to time. It still matches my Facebook name. It was Love Is Gwen.
Yeah.
It was reversed. It was
Okay.
Love Is Gwen.
Okay.
But I do dip in and out. I stay on for a week, and then I'm back deactivating. So, but yeah, I'll probably get back on. Like, get back on soon. Yeah.
What makes you anxious about it? What do you mean when you say it gives you anxiety? Like trying to respond to all the DMs, or when people make comments, or what gives you anxiety?
I just don't like a lot. I feel like I don't know. Like I know like a lot of people will watch this, but it's just all be happening like right then and there. Like everybody watching your stuff or replying to something, and it's like on my Facebook, it's family and friends, and then on my Instagram, I didn't let so many people come on my page, so it'd be like, what is going on? So I just like start shutting down.
I just thought I would ask that question, but we're gonna get out of here.
Get one though. I'm gonna
please subscribe. Please subscribe. Comment. We'll
Tell
be going
people
live.
about it.
Yezi, when is our schedule? We going live when? Is it next Wednesday or is it? You know?
I thought next Wednesday.
Wednesday. Is next Wednesday?
I think it's
Okay, we'll be
Wednesday.
going live next Wednesday. Stay tuned and be ready to watch us. See you later. Bye.
Bye.